Hi, I'm Bert August, owner and sole proprietor of Ampro Boxing. I'm here with Boss Talks on the Rooftops. Check out my episode, live and in color.
What's up, everybody? This is Bryson Fowler on Boss Talks on the Rooftop. Today we're back at D&B Cigar Corner. They had us back here. We have too much fun here, and we ran into a good friend of mine, Mr. Bert August. Bert August, how you doing, brother?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Now, some of y'all don't know, but he's kind of a big deal. He's here. In there, but yeah. So, Coach, tell us about your journey into you own a boxing gym.
Yes.
And you've been coaching and mentoring young men
Since
from
1980.
to yay high, right?
Yep. The way I got into it was my parents were big volunteers and philanthropists. So I came home from school. I went to the University of Kansas. Came home from school one summer, and my dad said, "Hey, let's go to the boys' club." Or I do stuff at Oak Cliff Boys Club.
Okay.
So I went there. You know, back then you had to wear a suit and tie to go to work. So I worked at a bank in the summer. So this one kid came up to me and said, "Hey, you just come for a funeral?" I was like, "No." He said, "Are you a preacher?" I said, "Nope." He said, "Well, why are you wearing a suit and tie?" I said, "Well, I wear this every day."
Right.
And he said, "I've never seen a black man, wear a suit every day to go to work." He said, "I'm used to seeing black men go to work and come back home dirty." So that kind of struck my heart. And from that point on, I started volunteering, but I made it a point to wear my suit to the boys club before I changed my clothes. So I can see, so the kids can see somebody that is young, positive, and can be whoever they want it to be, and don't have to get dirty to go to work. You can call the shots and be a boss.
True.
So that's how I got into the volunteering at the boys club, doing basketball, coaching football, coaching boxing, swimming, track, and just it hit my heart. It got to the point that I had keys to every boys club in Dallas.
Oh, wow.
East Dallas Boys Club, Oak Cliff Boys Club, Turnkey Boys Club, West Dallas Boys Club, and I was just a volunteer. I used to do probably 60, 80 hours a week, volunteer work. That was my day. Go to work, go to boys club, hang with the fellas, try to mentor kids, trying to teach kids, and then go home. And that was 7 days a week.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But you know, you gotta have a heart for the people, a heart for kids. And like my whole thing behind kids is like I want to motivate young men to be balanced. So like I really feel connected with you in that regards. Because that's what this whole podcast is about. Yeah. Like you see the chain around my neck is for my roofing business, right? And it usually grabs young kids. And when the young kids grab to me, they're like, "Hey man, what is that? Are you a rapper?" "No, I'm a roofer." And that was the whole point of me like really doing it, so I can like show like how your suit was the example, this chain was the example of that. And show that, hey, you don't have to be a rapper, nothing against rappers, nothing against entertainers. But there's money out here in trades.
Yes.
There's money out here in day jobs. Like I have a roofing business, I don't lift a hammer.
Yeah.
So
there you go. You call the shots.
You know what I'm saying? So I was really just trying to shed light on in that regards and just help them understand like there's different ways to really make money out here or to actually go about your day-to-day business. You don't have to try and be something that you see that's publicized. Yeah. You can make your own lane.
Correct.
So that really touched my heart when you like, you know, I wore my suit to the boys club, changed out so they could see me. Leading by example and showing representation is highly important.
That is correct.
And so I commend you for that. You've been doing that for years.
I've been doing it since 1982, and the impact that it has on our black males, I didn't really recognize that until probably about 10, 15 years later. I was like, man, am I really making a difference? And so one time a cable went out. So I called Time Warner Cable. Person on the line couldn't help me. So I said, well, pass me to a supervisor. So I was talking to one of the guys, the supervisor, and we were talking. He goes, hey, you don't know who you're talking to, do you? I was like, no, I was like, supervisor at Time Warner Cable.
Right.
He said, no, this is Greg. Greg? Okay, Greg. He said, yeah, Greg Preston. I was like, Greg Preston? He said, he used to call me Hard Up. I said, man, you supervised. He said, and he told me that I made such a big difference in his life, that he went to school, made something of himself, and that now he's a supervisor in management in Time Warner Cable.
Right.
And I was like, oh, well, I am making a difference.
Right.
And then fast forward more, my youngest son's high school principal, who was one of the architects of the Barack Obama Male Leadership Academy.
Wow.
Was the principal of my youngest son. I used to mentor him when he was 12 years old.
Wow.
At the Oak Cliff Boys Club. So it's come back kind of full circle.
See, that's that bridge building.
Yeah.
You know, that bridge building, you don't know who
I'm touching, who I'm touching, who I'm
but
helping.
you know you touching the people.
Yeah.
And it's so gratifying to see that your work is being impactful. Because like we can be made for an image or we can be made for an impact.
Yeah.
And like I'm truly trying to be impactful while building an image, because they're both important. We're not gonna forsake it. But like if we got an image and we're not being impactful to the community,
Correct.
we're doing a disservice.
Yes, that is correct. And another thing that kind of helps me look back on what the history is like, you can look at Derrick James, professional trainer of the year. He's from my lineage. He's from my dad, myself. He's from our tree. We took him as a young kid, coached him in boxing. He's taken those skills, developed to become one of the top trainers in the world, and now he's successful. That makes me successful. The success doesn't have to come to me as long as those I touch become successful. And that's my only goal. So I have the boxing gym, and boxing gym is kind of like, it's like a youth center too, because I try to get at least 4 or 5 kids in college every year or in vocational school. But it's become, productive citizens.
Right.
So the boxing gym's like a hook. I've charged very little, so it's all out of my pocket. I'm not in it for the money, so kids know that. So now I'm getting kids all over the place. Even guys I used to mentor, bringing their kids in.
Right. So what's the name of the boxing gym?
It's Ampro Boxing.
Ampro Boxing?
Ampro, amateur and professional boxing.
See, Ampro.
Yeah.
So we got AMPRO Boxing.
Yes.
We're located in Mesquite, right?
In Mesquite. Tried to get it in South Dallas, but every time I negotiated the lease, they found out the landlords would find out what I was trying to do, and they would shut me down.
Oh wow! Why were they so against what you were doing?
I guess, I don't know, it was something, I was told I was doing something constructive for the kids, so I guess they were saying like they didn't want a lot of kids hanging around their properties or this or that, and they would shut me down. So I had to come out closest I could to Dallas,
right,
in Mesquite.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be on a bus line where it's accessible for kids with electric transportation. So it comes to the Dallas Dart goes to at least Eastville, so we can pick them up from there if they can get to Eastville.
Around what age do you start them?
I've had some as young as 5. Yeah, to 42. So there's no age group. So the main thing is I'm trying to get kids in there and then have their parents come in, because I have an adult class too. They come in and work out with them. That way they can spend time with their kids, they can bond with their kids and do something positive with their kids.
So when they come in, what do you expect them to learn from your particular style?
I tell them what I'm teaching is life skills. I don't care if you box, you never have to get in the ring. Just come in, become disciplined, become productive, be positive.
Right.
That's all I want.
See, that's powerful.
Yeah.
So how do we find? Are you online?
I have, Mike, I'm so old. I don't know all that social media. So I have some of my young
Facebook.
Yeah. So my young fighters, they have me on Facebook. I think they have me on Twitter too. I think. I don't know, but they do all that for me.
Right. Okay.
I've been successful doing it by word of mouth.
Right. Word
of mouth and grace of God, because I've never had to close doors since '82. So,
hey,
and that's no financial help from any foundation or anything like that. That's all out of our pocket.
That was crazy.
So we've been successful this far.
Yeah, man, that's very inspiring.
Yeah.
Just because, like, on our side, we do so much. Like, we have the tax business, we have the roofing business, we have cigar, Kingpin Luxury Cigar, who sponsored this podcast, just so we can be impactful.
Yeah.
A lot of people think, like, what do you do to get grants? What do you do? Like, bro.
You gotta do it all out of pocket.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's like, if I go with United Way or something, I'm under their umbrella. So I'm under their rule. They can tell me what I need to do.
Right.
And kids kind of know if you're doing it for the money or out of, the love for them.
Right.
So if I can stay away from that, I'm good.
Well, and it's one of those things like, what? Taught, not bought.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know? And it's just so, like, a lot of people these days are like, they're looking at your chapter 40, your chapter 20, and thinking like, oh, that's going to be my chapter 1.
Yeah, but it's not that way. It's not that way. It's not that way at all. And it's like that in boxing. I tell them, I said, you're going to have to start from ground zero. Everybody has to learn this. It's not easy.
Right.
And it's harder today because today's kids, they can go to football, play baseball, play basketball, and now there's this concept in like Pop Warner and little leagues is that everybody plays.
Right.
Everybody's a winner.
Yeah.
You get a participation award.
Yeah.
With the one-on-one competition with boxing, it's not like that.
Nah.
You got you, the person across from you, and one trophy.
See, and that's what I liked about wrestling, because I wrestled when I was in school and college, and I was pretty decent, and I was a better wrestler than I was a football player.
Yeah.
But I wanted so bad to go D1 for football, like I forsake my wrestling game and went to football, and then I ended up coming back.
To wrestling.
into wrestling, and looking at MMA and how everything's progressed so long. Like, the fighting game is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like with Errol Spence coming in, I love that he's from Dallas, and I love how he's representing himself from Dallas. Like,
Yes.
I can't wait for the Terrence Crawford and the Errol Spence.
If that ever happens.
If it ever happens.
But I tell people, I was like, and it's the money. Terrence wants a lot of money. Earl wants money, but Terrence wants a lot of money. And they do deserve it.
Right.
But here's the economics of professional boxing. Your number one fan is the Hispanic crowd. And in a joking way, I tell people, white people, Hispanics, buy pay-per-view. Black people buy Fire Sticks.
Yeah.
But to that caveat, it's not we don't love our athletes. We don't love our heroes. We live with our heroes. We don't have to create our heroes.
Right.
Like, you probably, the 98% of the black men that you know play some type of sport.
Exactly.
So it doesn't impress us to see Usain Bolt break the world record in 100 meters. You probably know a crackhead can steal a TV and run just as quick.
Run just as quick with the TV.
We know people who's been locked up or in our neighborhoods playing basketball down in Singing Hills. They can play like LeBron, can play like Kobe. They just didn't get the break.
Right.
But if a white person or let's say an Asian or Hispanic runs like a sub 10-second 100 meters, it's on SportsCenter.
Right.
They slam a basketball, it's on SportsCenter.
Right.
It doesn't impress us. So, I tell people, we're not going to spend top dollar to go see something that we can see in our neighborhood or somebody we grew up knowing.
Right.
Like the people who grew up with Earl, they've known Earl all their life.
Right.
They're not going to pay $5,000 to go see him fight.
Right.
But they know him.
Right.
It's a disrespect. It's just that it doesn't put us in awe.
We've seen it.
We've seen it, been there, done that.
It's not that you're not great.
Yeah.
It's just
that it doesn't. We're not like, ooh, look at that, because we know people in the street that one-hitter quitters.
Yeah. Right.
They just didn't get the break. They just like smoking weed, getting drunk, and everything else.
Right.
To be more disciplined, to be a professional athlete. So when I tell people, outside of heavyweights, when's the last time 2 African Americans won a top bill pay-per-view fight?
It's been a long time since I could think of it.
Hagler Hearns, Leonard Hagler. That was 1985. Think about it. Outside of heavyweight. Can't say Mike Tyson.
I keep thinking heavyweight.
Yeah, outside of heavyweight. Yeah.
And then even with Mayweather,
Yeah.
it's
I said
always
two
been-
African Americans.
Yeah, it's only just been him.
Him and a Hispanic or him or a Filipino.
Yeah. So I can't think of any other.
So that's why, do they deserve the money? Yes. But will they get it? I doubt it. Because you got to think about it. If you were a promoter, would you put up $20 million for purchase to get back $15 million?
No, that math ain't mathy.
It's not matching. So that's the gap. It's not that they don't want to fight each other.
Right.
It's the economics to it.
Right.
And so Earl put 40,000 people in AT&T.
Yeah.
When has a fighter ever done that in the United States?
Never.
Besides Muhammad Ali at Superdome when he fought Leon Spinks.
I mean,
40,000 people.
We're talking about two
Yeah.
the size of the spectrum.
Even when Floyd fought Pacquiao,
Right.
it was at the 15,000 seat arena in Vegas.
Right.
It wasn't 40,000.
No.
So,
All this money came through the pay-per-view.
yeah. So the thing is, if Terrence really wanted that money, he would come here. But he's saying it's a home field advantage, but it's not, because the governing bodies choose the officials, not the state.
Exactly.
So, and the thing about a boxing ring, it's not a football field where every field's different. The aesthetics, the stadiums and all that. Baseball is different, basketball, different arenas. A boxing ring's up square.
Right.
You can put it in the Mojave Desert or in Cancun, it's still a square ring.
Right.
There's nothing different about it. It's either 18 feet, 20 feet inside.
But I think they're more so talking about the crowd more than anything.
When you fight, you can't hear it. When you wrestle, you can hear the crowd. You concentrate on that person and your coach. That's it.
Coach yelling at
Yeah, that's it. So, but if he wants that money that he's asking for, requesting, he has to come here. Because Earl has proven that he can put 40,000 people in an arena.
Very true.
If he fought Terrence, it'd probably be 60,000 people.
A lot.
A lot. You're not going to get that many people in the T-Mobile Arena, MGM Grand. You're going to get 15, maybe 20 tops. So that's why I don't think it'll ever happen.
Okay.
And it's the economics. It's not that they're scared of one another. It's just the economics in it.
Well, right. We know that.
Yeah.
We understood that. So we can find you at your gym, Ampro Boxing.
Yes.
And we can find you online. And we can come out there and get some kids to do some sparring sessions.
Anytime.
Like, I'm not gonna do no sparring, but
Yeah.
I'll come out there.
We have exercises for you, though.
I'll come. Hey, you ain't finna get that. Get me out there and get me rocked in front of nobody. I'm not doing it because I'm gonna end up wrestling. that's
But I do have wrestlers to come and work out.
So you're trying to get me in.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, this has been sponsored by Kingpin Luxury and Cigars Accessories. This is Coach Bert August.
Yes.
Please come check him out. We didn't get to the fact that he's a Hall of Famer.
They were drunk when they did that, so keep telling.
But anyway, so guys, I'm Bryson Fowler. This is Boss Talks on the Rooftop. Remember, storms don't last, but your home should. Peace. Two fingers.